Hey, good evening, everybody, and welcome back to week 2 of the 2018-19 Marion Harding High School football season. I'm here, as always, with Coach Keplinger on what is kind of a hotter than last Friday night.
Yeah, we got fall weather last week, and it's all of about 80 degrees
Oh,
right now.
my
Plus,
gosh. With humidity, it's a
it's
little
sticky.
salty.
Close.
It's close.
I heard it described in Turner Field as closeness.
Close. Well, I would say if anywhere it's going to be close, probably Atlanta, Georgia,
Yeah, no doubt.
Definitely a hot place. But anyways, enough about the Heat, folks. We're here tonight to talk about the Prexies' opponent tonight and what we saw of the Prexies last week. But tonight, the Prexies have a Jonathan Alder Pioneers football team from Plain City, Ohio. And we were talking a little bit earlier, Coach, and I think you brought up a pretty cool statistic earlier about this team in this field.
I don't know how cool it is, but
Not cool, but
I think the last defeat we called together, just commenting on home games, was on the natural grass 2 years ago against Jonathan Alder.
So, I mean, when you think about it, we talked about how the Prexies have been undefeated on the turf. Obviously, last week they defended the turf, but also going back to the previous year, I believe that we're looking at maybe an 8-game home winning streak.
6, yeah. 8 or 9. I got to go back and check that now.
I
because
know.
I want to know, especially if we can keep bringing that good juju,
Well, I'm telling you, we're going to have to pull out our phones, and sometime while people are watching this game, we're going to have to give the specificity of that fact. So tonight we have a Jonathan Alder team that has kind of had the Prexies number a little bit. I mean, what is this? How many years we've been playing them now?
4 or 5. And
4 or 5.
I think they've all gone JA's way.
Yeah, and they've all gone JA's way. And JA has really had some talented teams. I know one year, a couple years ago, they actually had a young kid, I believe, that actually went to Wisconsin, I want to say.
He's at Northwestern.
He's at Northwestern.
Played last night.
Yeah,
so.
Regardless, he went to Northwestern, so Big Ten team played last night against the Purdue Boilermakers. So, Jonathan Alder's had some very talented teams, but Jonathan Alder last week lost to Marysville, a team that they have beat routinely over the last couple years. So you and I were talking, is this a case of we've got a really good Marysville team or a Jonathan Alder team that's not as good as they've been in the past, or is it a little bit of both? What are your thoughts on that, Coach?
Yeah, I don't know how much you're going to find out in 1 week of high school football.
You're very true. Very true.
I've kind of been asking around myself, looking at the score, like, wow, 35-0 game.
Yeah, I know. That's what I thought, too. Alder
rough,
doesn't lose 35-0.
Sure, but, from what I've gathered, it's a pretty athletic Marysville team.
Gotcha.
But, I think this is still going to come down to, what can the Presidents do?
Yeah.
They're 21-13 winners last week?
21-12.
21-12 winners last week. There's a chance for them to put 40 on the scoreboard if we're being honest, And
Absolutely.
It's going to come down to Harding's own execution. If they follow the script, follow the game plan, and they're able to execute, I think the scoreboard will be smiling here in 2 or 3 hours.
Well, and Coach Keplinger brought up a good point. It's not so much what Jonathan Alder can do, it's what the Prexies can do and what the Prexies can't do. And last week we saw the Prexies drive down into the red zone and into the Yellow Jackets territory.
That are orange.
Many, many, many times last week, only to come away with nothing. And quite frankly, at one point in time, the Prexies never lost control of the game, but at one point in time it was a 14-12 ball game, and really what broke the game open was that the Prexies were able, actually, Night Train Booker was able to take a pick for 6 the other way, and then Andrew Newsom kicked the field goal through, or rather the PAT, and it kind of sealed the victory. But last week, the Prexies never lost control of the game, but they never really controlled the game because there was just a lot of mistakes and a lot of missed opportunities. And I'm going to tell you, if you know anything about this Jonathan Alder football team and the way they're coached and the way they play, this is a team that really does not make mistakes. Coach, they just
don't.
They're
not going to allow you to make mistakes.
Exactly. So with that being said, I feel really good about the Prexies' chances tonight. I feel really good about what can happen. This is always going to be a Jonathan Alder football team that is very well coached, that is very disciplined. So the Prexies got to clean up some of the mistakes they made from last week, but allow their play and their athleticism to shine through, but also don't let any missed opportunities, I guess, or rather don't miss any opportunities, frankly.
Don't miss opportunities and don't, it's a new game each year.
Absolutely.
You've got a senior class that's like, probably, JA on the schedule again, here we go, let's grind. Go out, play, grind, and see what happens.
Absolutely. And, here we go. We have a chance to continue to defend the turf. We have a chance to start off a young football season 2-0. and it's really early in the season, but if we win this game, there's still going to be 8 more games to go, don't get me wrong, but this could very well be a statement game.
It feels like a tone setter, doesn't it?
It does. It really, really does. So with that being said, we'll see what tone gets set later tonight as this game starts. Folks, we will be back after these breaks and our band and our warm-up and all of those great things with another Marion Harding High School football game versus the Pioneers of Jonathan Alder with a Marion Harding High School Telecom production.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to historic Harding Stadium. As a member of School of the High Athletic Association, Marion Harding High School welcomes you to the interscholastic contest between Jonathan Alder High School and Marion Harding High School. To honor America, please stand and join in the singing of our national anthem. And the flag is being raised by the Harding Youth Football Cheerleaders.
All right, folks. I was just told by Mr. Mullins that we are now live, the game. So, Coach Keplinger, we talked a little bit earlier about how it's a hot night, but here's the amazing thing. It's a hot night, but people are still out in droves to see their Prexies. I think there's a lot of excitement about this season.
Oh, yeah. Like we said in the pregame, this has the feeling of being one of those statement games. Why not be here, be a part of it?
Absolutely. And like we said many times, and we'll probably keep saying it all year, boy, that turf is pretty. But let's see if the Prexies play can be pretty as well, folks. Alder with the kickoff. Little low pooch kick. Bounces into the waiting arms of, I believe, that's
the detonator.
Yeah, I thought that was Detweiler. I wasn't quite sure.
Yeah, we still get a little bit of a glare on that far side until the sun goes down.
Well, we can blame it on the glare or the fact we're getting a little bit older and maybe our eyesight isn't what it used to be, Coach.
You're probably right there.
It's the glare. It's the glare.
It's a World War II myth that carrots improve your eyesight.
That's a World War II myth?
Yeah, I believe it was something to the effect of the British didn't want the Germans to know that they had radar capabilities or some type of whatever type of espionage capabilities.
So they've been lying to me for years to get me to eat carrots.
Yeah, so they said they gave the myth out to the public that carrots were making their pilots' eyesight better.
Well,
And that's all the teaching I'm going to do today. So here we go.
Who we kidding? We're going to have all kinds of teaching. Little motion there. Little handoff to Mr. Booker as he rambles ahead for, I want to say, about maybe a 3-yard gain, Coach, possibly?
And you'll take that on first down.
Never mind. According to the scoreboard operator, that was 4 yards. So,
all right.
2nd and 6 is a lot easier to call than 2nd and 10 or 2nd and 7. Little motion there at that last play from none other than Andrew Bobo Brazil, number 2. Prexies have 2 men in the backfield. Little toss to Mr. Booker. That's a great block on the edge by Mr. Detweiler. And I apologize, that was not.
That's Ayers Jordan.
That's DeAndre Ayers Jordan. And I'm going to tell you, man, Gabe Detweiler had a great block, and then Bobo Brazil had a fantastic ceiling block as well.
Oh, yeah.
That was a nice toss play, Coach.
First and 10.
Okay, the Prexies come out. We have Noah in shotgun with number 5, Quave, once again to his side. Oh, ball right through Noah's legs. And you know what happened on that? Noah just kind of took his – I think Noah got excited. I'm thinking that was probably going to be a little swing pass there to Book.
Oh, yeah, you saw Booker going out.
Yeah.
I'm sure.
Yeah.
I'm sure Cornbread was ready to open it up there.
He was. Little dink and dunk there between the legs, and little mistake there.
You know, the juice is going too. You have a good you get a first down there on the first drive, and you know, probably feeling it.
Absolutely.
A little hype there. So.
Prex is in a true I backfield with 2 tight ends. I'm guessing we're probably going to see a run here. Nothing doing on that. Maybe a yard or 2 as the Prex is not able to get a push. It is now 3rd and a long time.
3rd down and 15 for the 43-yard line.
3rd and Summerlot Hoffman. I would say 3rd and Waldo, but Waldo would be longer.
We're
Coach.
not quite there.
We're
yet.
not 3rd and Waldo yet.
Yeah.
3rd and Summerlot Hoffman.
We've had our share of 3rd.
We've had our share of 3rd and Waldos. All right, so this is an obvious passing down here as the Prexies come out and trips. Little diamond trips there. Andrew Brazil motions and motions back out. Little in and out motion there.
Little screen. Got the edge. Oh.
Dejan, the bomb, Smith. So it's looking like it's 3rd and a little bit, and I'm telling you, this is a smart call to punt it. It really is. It really, really is. 4th and 3. Yeah, based upon just good old-fashioned field position here, Coach, this is a good call to punt it. However, if we were to go for it here, I would not chide that decision either. Believe that's Oakland Elementary Parsons in the backfield with the punt. High punt.
Gets a good bounce.
Oh! a couple doors down from us are the Prexies coaches. And
It's the law firm of Weibling, McCreary, and Pace over
yes,
there.
the law firm of Weibling, McCreary, and Pace. And I believe Coach Arndt's down there with them, too. And you could hear their displeasure as we kind of caught that ball. If we hadn't have caught that ball or stopped the ball on the punt there, that could have taken a more friendly Prexie bounce. Okay, so here we go. The Prexies on defense. Alder comes out and trips with a pistol set. Oh, wait, never mind. They were in trips as they move to a, I don't know, maybe they don't know what they're supposed to be in here.
It's still a pistol, but
It's still a pistol. As the offense calls, and they call a timeout. So with that timeout, Coach, I believe we're going to take a very early, quick commercial break with a Merritt Harding High School Telecom production.
This is me, and this is my teacher, Miss C. She's so great. She teaches me a lot of good stuff. She taught me that everything I do starts with me. I'm in charge. She taught me to have a plan and make sure I do all my work before I play. I also learned how to play well with others. I try to remember that everyone can win. And I listen before I talk. That makes working together a lot more fun.
All right, folks, and we are back. And in that commercial, you saw Leader and Me, one of Marion City Schools' great 4 pillars that we talk about so much on this program, as well as other telecom productions. So it looks now like Alder has figured out how they're supposed to line up. Little handoff there as running back number 22 looks like he's about to get stopped for a loss, but is able to gain about a 4-yard gain. Garrett Proxmire. That's an interesting last name, Coach.
Well, I think they know about our wordplay and puns, and they're not going to give you much to do with Proxmire.
Yeah, Proxmire. Chicken Prox. You like that?
Oh,
That's good. So, apparently, what should have been a tackle for loss should have been a tackle for loss, and it wasn't because there was a hold. So, great call by the referees there as some laundry falls on the field for the Pioneers. And we should be noted that pulling away is the Channel 10 newscopter who came to catch the beginning of our game for, obviously, their football Friday night series. What looked like
there,
it was
yeah.
about, that was almost kind of like a fake sweepy type thing. I was actually talking to starting linebacker none other than Mitchell Frederick Myers, and we were talking about what Alder runs and just, doing a little pregame, and he was telling me there's a lot of counter from wings. So basically, if you watch the inside wide receiver, whether he's a wing or whether he's flanked out just a little bit farther, lots of times that guy very well could take you to what the play may be.
You notice there, too, that was a direct snap. That was straight to Proxmire.
Yeah, it was. And we dropped our head on that. So, what was a simple comeback route and a missed tackle now leads to 6 by Jonathan Alder.
I'll tell you what, that quarterback, Keith, only being a sophomore, he put some zip on that pass.
He did put some mustard on it, Coach. But it is early in the game. This is probably, well, not probably, this is quite frankly the first time all year the Prexies have faced any adversity at all. It'll be interesting to see how they respond here, Coach.
No doubt.
The kick is up and true for a 7-0 lead by the Pioneers from Jonathan Alder. As we switch sides here, we'll take a quick commercial break with the Marion High School Telecom production. All right, so the Prexies, due to a little, actually great pass by that sophomore quarterback and a couple miscues by the Prexies, have allowed the Prexies to now be in a position where they get the second kickoff of what is still a young game with a lot of game left to play. Number 25, none other than Jackson Welsh, is the kicker for the Pioneers. Another low
Bruce.
kick.
Nice block there.
Oh, and that was a pretty good return by Mr. Ayers Jordan. And, Coach, I'm not a fan of the horse collar tackle. I'm not a fan of that penalty. I think it's probably the worst penalty ever invented in the history of football. However, that looked like a horse collar tackle.
Yeah, I mean, if it's codified in the rules.
If it's the rules, it's the rules. You know?
I've always wondered why they can call a horse collar, but you have a player like Troy Polamalu whose hair is, you can tackle him by the hair.
I agree.
You know, like, that's got to be more painful than
It just
not.
doesn't make sense. Run by number 13, Devin Mowry. I think
you got some help on Facebook, didn't you? Finding Mallory's nickname.
Yeah, I did. I think 7 just sounds good.
Yeah, I mean, we'll stick with it.
But like I told him, I was like, hey, we got to get you the end zone, son. We're calling you 7. But, knowing him, he's a great kid. He's going to work hard, and he's definitely going to get in the end zone. He's going to get his share of time in the end zone. It's a Prexies look at 2nd and 7.
Keep there.
Quave, Night Train Booker, rumble, young man, rumble.
He runs the ball awfully hard, doesn't he?
He does. Well, and here's the thing, Coach. We move the ball very well. We just have to eliminate mistakes because, like we talked about, Alder is not the type of team that's going to make mistakes. They're just not. I've watched them play too many times over the year, and they're a pretty crisp ball club. Devin Mowry in the backfield. All right, young man squirts ahead for, I believe, about a 5 or 6 yard gain. And you got to think, as well as the run game is working right now, we might be setting up a play action pass. However, we ran a whole lot of bootleg last week, and you better believe that Alder practiced the heck out of bootleg.
You're giving them definitely a different look with that wide receiver motion, though, this week.
You are right, Coach. We didn't see a lot of that last week. You are correct. Oh, as Booker cuts it back and downfield, I'm going to tell you, Gary Money is blocking like his pants are on fire. I like to see that. I'm telling you, the true measure of a football player is not what they do when the ball is in their hands. It's what they do when the ball isn't in their
somebody
hands.
else has
I'm
got
telling
the
you.
Yeah, no doubt.
I mean, we talk about it quite a bunch, and we always talk about the Buckeyes on here because obviously we all watch and adore the Buckeyes. But I'm telling you, Zeke Elliott might have been the best complete back ever to go through Ohio State because, boy, howdy, that
pass
dude,
block was
he
something,
laid the
wasn't it?
wood
Oh, yeah.
like nobody when it came to blocking. Little Devin Mowry finding nothing there, while number 54 from Jonathan Alder, Antonio Valero. I like that name. Valero. Aren't there gas stations called Valeros?
Yeah, I think so.
I think there's one in Marion, actually.
Oh,
South end of town. No,
All right.
check that. North end of town.
Yeah.
As you're on Route 4 heading towards Bucyrus.
all right.
It's one of those random gas
I'm going
stations
to take your word for it.
that if you don't live on the north end of town, you probably don't know it's there. But I'm pretty sure we have a Valero gas station in Marion. All right, 2nd and about toss play. DeAndre Ayers turns it up for a gain of, that was a lot of movement there. Stretched the ball really far to get
About a yard.
about a yard. That was a lot of movement to get a yard. So here we go. The Prexies are once again just outside of the red zone. And one of the problems they had last week, Coach, was exactly not being able to finish in the red zone. So it'll be interesting to see what we dial up here. Looks like a lot of running here. And nothing doing on that one, as Gabe Detweiler, I believe, gets maybe a yard, 2, maybe.
Maybe a tough one.
Yeah, I'd say maybe half a yard. So here we go. It's 4th and 9. Prexies are once again, if the 20-yard line is the red zone, they are just a skosh outside of the red zone. Quave Booker in the backfield.
Play action.
That was a great play.
That's going to be close. Brazil made that first guy miss.
I believe they got it, Coach. Yep, they got it.
That'll move the chains.
That will move the chains. That was, that motion, little play action pass there. Well, and here's the great thing about having a running game. The running game opens up the pass game. It really, really does. So I know we're so used to watching the NFL where it's pass, 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 pass. But a pure football traditionalist who really knows the sport will tell you how important the run game truly is. Quave Booker dances ahead for about 4 or 5 yards as it takes a slew of Pioneers to bring down the night train. As he is helped up by number 52, the motor, McKinney. First and goal. Actually, check that. Our PA announcer said first and goal from the 5. It is, in fact, second and goal from the 5. Prexies with an eye backfield. Is that the Tiger? Pickens? Number 26. Shoots ahead for about a 4-yard gain.
3rd and 1. 3rd and goal from the 1.
3rd and goal from the 1. Wow. According to the scoreboard, it's like 3rd and 3.
Okay, maybe our eyesight is terrible.
Coach, I don't know. Either that or our zebras down there are giving us some pretty gnarly spots. The Benz is in the backfield. The Bentley. Noah Thompson keeps.
Keeper.
Hey-oh! Put some butter on your cornbread, Coach.
That's right.
Absolutely. As the Prexies answer the first time they meet adversity this year with 6 points from Noah Cornbread, the Red Terror, Thompson. As the fireworks provided by computer technician extraordinaire, former math teacher, Ronald Scott Krosky. As our band, under the direction of Jacob Hartman and UG Jones, gets this capacity crowd pumped up.
It's the kind of answer you want to see there, isn't it?
That is totally the answer you want to see, Coach.
Clutch 4th down conversion. Established a run game nicely there.
And the new dog,
Newman.
Andrew, the Quiet Storm Newsome, with his 4th consecutive point after touchdown.
His fat head came back this week. That's the most amusing thing I think I've seen come from.
Coach, I love that Andrew Newsome fat head.
Listen, that's a great.
I'm going to ask our great telecom students up here to try to get Andrew Newsome's fat head on camera, because the folks sitting at home watching this have to see that fat head. It is a thing of majesty.
It's not up yet. We'll get it.
You got to wait till we do something good so they get it. Or maybe text one of you youngsters up here, text somebody down there in the student section and ask them to hold up Andrew Newsome's fat head. God bless technology, right, Coach Keplinger?
Absolutely.
God bless technology. Our student section is in full force tonight, by the way. Tonight's theme is what?
Paint Wars.
Paint Wars. Paint Wars, okay. And once again, folks, it should be noted that this production, with the exception of Coach Kepler and I are droning on incessantly, this production is completely and totally student-run and student-led. Just a fine example of one of the many awesome, fantastic, amazing programs that we offer at Marion Harding High School and Marion City Schools that no one else offers. Number 48 with the kickoff. That would be...
Talk to Coach Williams. That's Sam Mitchell.
Sam Bam Cunningham Mitchell.
Kickoff specialist extraordinaire.
Kickoff specialist. He may be, but that was a good return by the Pioneers.
Yeah, made something out of a muffed kick there. So
the Pioneers are looking at solid field position with the ball on, I believe, the 41 with 59 yards between them and pay dirt. Pioneers and trips with a pistol set. Game knotted at 7-7. Nothing doing on that. Looks like a tackle by I think Cornbread might have been in there. And I don't know who else was in there.
a cabinet of presidents.
Yes, a cabinet of presidents. Not to be confused with the things you put your dishes in, but all the president's men. Or you can put other things in cabinets besides dishes, quite frankly.
Yes.
Yeah. Towels, maybe. Handoff as number 45 for the Pioneers, Mason see him go, rumbles for about 9 yards.
Can't deny us all quarter.
The Pioneers waste no time with a hurry-up offense. Based upon that spot, I don't think they did anything on that.
No, we're getting the fourth down.
Yeah, fourth and short. So the important thing on this, though, is the Prexies not to get squirreled up and get hot-blooded and allow a hard count to get them to jump off sides. So this is a big gamble right here. The Pioneers pull this off. Oh, never mind, they call a timeout. So, with that being said, with the Pioneers on timeout, we're going to take a quick commercial break with the Marion Harding High School Telecom production.
This is me. And this is my teacher, Miss C. She's so great.
All right, folks, we are back. As the Pioneers, Coach Kaplan and I were just talking, the Pioneers took a timeout. So based upon that, it'll be interesting to see what they dialed up in the huddle. Once again, Prexies have to be very mindful here not to jump off sides. No!
Ooh, I don't know.
No!
I don't know.
I don't know. He might have got a friendly spot. I think he fell forward. I hate to say it, but that was a heck of a friendly spot.
He was met right at the line, but I think that forward progression, he got it.
Well, and I hear someone in the stands yell, "Are you kidding me?" We're actually not. He got the first down.
That's that J.T. Barrett effect from 2016.
The whole Michigan thing.
Yeah.
Was it a first down? Was it not a first down? Well, the ref said it is, and there is no replay in high school.
Play action.
Oh, great defense by Deshaun, the bomb Smith. That was pretty good defense right there, man. I'm going to tell you what, though, and I'm not being critical here, Coach, so people watching at home, please don't take it this way.
Hey, you're still a coach at heart.
We've got
doing some coaching.
Okay, absolutely, Coach. We got to get some more pressure on the quarterback. He had all day to throw. Our D-line's got to get a push up front, Coach. They can't give that young man, who we have seen has a sweet touch, they can't give him time to throw. Mr. Pickens comes from the backside.
There we go.
And Ayers Jordan continues what has been a pretty good game for him with 30-some-odd ticks left in the first quarter with the Prexies and the Pioneers knotted 7-7.
3rd and 10 here.
3rd and 10. This would be a good stop here because you got to think this is not, unless they get 9 yards, this is not 4-down territory. Looks like they're content to let the clock run. Oh, check that.
1 more second on the game clock than the play clock, so they'll run it down to the last play of the quarter. There's your rush.
Oh! And the football gods just smiled on the Pioneers as what was a great defensive play becomes an immaculate reception for the Pioneers. So with the game knotted at 7-7 at the end of the first quarter, we'll take a quick commercial break with the Marion Harding High School Telecom production. Okay, check that. We did not go to a commercial break, and that's okay because I can continue to talk. However,
we're switching crews at quarters.
That was
the wrong time to ask for the commercial break.
Well, you know, I should have known. All of these wonderful kids are up here taking part in this glorious telecom production. But, Coach,
you know what I just
you can defend that all you want.
I just got a text message that said, I see 10 TV's bringing the second most prolific coverage to the game tonight.
10 TV ain't got nothing on us, Coach.
I was like, they got helicopters. Do they have puns?
They don't have Schneider and Keplinger, that's for sure. But the Prexies do.
For the better or worse.
For better or worse, yeah. Until they tell us otherwise, they're stuck with us, Coach.
That's tough luck on that 3rd down play. There's not much more you could do. You got the pressure. You got
you got the pressure.
The bends there on contain. That quarterback wasn't going anywhere.
You did everything you were supposed to do in that, and then you also defended the pass.
And Money popped him right as the ball was coming.
The ball just careened into the waiting hands. I mean, you're right, Coach. Sometimes you're going to get that. The football gods are going to go, hey, Pioneers, you're welcome.
It evens out over the course of the season.
It does. The universe finds a way to equal itself out.
So 1st down for the Pioneers here.
As the Prexies allow maybe 2 yards, 3 yards on that. I think that was none other than Chicken Prox himself, Proxmaya. 2nd and 8.
Starting to cool down nicely, too, with the sun setting. I'll tell you what, if you haven't had the opportunity to get out here yet this year, you should make it a point to in 3 weeks when we're home again.
Oh, absolutely, Coach. Oh, I'm guessing that has got to be a start of the false kind.
You can't do that.
Nope. And a couple times we've said you can't do that, and I haven't referenced this song, but once again, I'm gonna do it this year because I did it a lot last year. Great Beatles song said you can't do that. On the Beatles for Sale. Great early album of theirs, Coach.
I bought the discography on iTunes for Christmas.
Oh, there you go.
2 years ago. That was all right.
Coach, I would have given it to you all for free. You could have downloaded it for free.
Right.
I've got them all. But that's okay. Oh!
Looks like another false start, but that one's going to go uncalled.
The Prexies look like they almost got away with a little encroachment foul there. So
I thought the right side guard for J.A. jumped there. I thought
that was
another false start, yeah.
Well, Coach, I guess that's how it goes sometimes. You see one thing, I see another, but guess what the ref saw?
Not a thing.
Not a thing. Because no laundry went flying. Oh, there's the chopper is above us again.
They joke was in Cincinnati when you tour their ballpark that the umpire's locker room has Braille underneath it because the ump doesn't seem to see a thing.
They do not. TJ Pickens from the backside, and there we go. Dejon Smith. Tell you what, we've seen some great plays tonight from Dejon Smith, DeAndre Ayers, Cornbread, Night Train.
You know, the defensive backfield has responded very nicely. You know, moving. Seems that J.A. is a little more pass heavy than what you got from Mount Vernon.
Yeah,
sure.
Sure.
They've done what they've needed to do.
Yeah. First punt by the Pioneers, and the punter for the Pioneers is number 44, Luke Skywalker.
Ooh.
The force may be strong with this one, Coach. We're going to see how he can punt. Oh!
High snap.
Almost over his head.
Solid punt.
Great punt and great coverage as Moni catches the ball safely, and the Prexies take over at what looks like the 12, 13-yard line maybe? Well, and I'm telling you, Coach, I constantly talk about playing clean, crisp football and not making mistakes. If there's one place you do not want to make a mistake, it's with your end zone
at your back,
so close to your backside.
No doubt.
So close. I believe that's Devin. 7 Mowry, I believe. Correct me if I'm wrong as he gets up from the scrum of human beings there.
I won't correct you because you are correct.
Lucky number 13. 7 Mowry with a really good cutback there, quite frankly, Coach. Little 5-yard gain.
Nice cutback. Good
Yeah.
push from the offensive line to still go
That was a great push from the offensive line. Once again, I have said many times I can kind of be a little hard on the hog mollies, but that was pretty dead-gum good. And the Prexies broke the huddle with 12 guys. They broke it because, 12 guys. Can't do that. Somebody came in and didn't tell somebody to come out. Coach, I believe, though, that might be the Prexies' first penalty tonight.
I believe so.
All right.
I'm sitting here thinking. I don't like to be wrong.
So the Prexies, with a positive first down play, see it negated as they break the huddle with 12 youngsters. And as we have stated before, you can't do that. Canadian football, I think you have 12 players. Maybe.
Play action. Going long. Oh.
As Cornbread put too much on it.
Good effort there by Moni. Looked like he almost got his fingertips to it.
He almost did. Well, and if Noah just puts a little bit of air under that and maybe allows Moni to make a play, Moni was in good position. Moni had the DB beat to the inside. But once again, Thompson just went for the long ball there and just put a little too much air on it. Kwame Booker in the backfield.
Third and
come
10.
out in a 2 tight end set. Brazil motions across. Noah Thompson scrambles just a little bit and picks up maybe 3 or 4 yards. But once again, Coach, that mistake, your play calling completely changes when you're looking at 2nd and 10 as opposed to 2nd and 5.
No doubt. It's going to say made those, 5 yards on the carry on a first down play.
Oh, absolutely.
You got to go throwing the ball.
So. Parsons back to punt. A little bit of a low punt. Takes a Prexies bounce. But nonetheless, the Pioneers have great field position to start off their first drive of the second half. No, check that. This is their second drive. Their first drive was
Second
continued
quarter.
from that fantastic, immaculate reception. Not quite Franco Harris style, but nonetheless, here we are. All right, Prexy's on defense.
Some more laundry.
A lot more laundry. So evidently nobody thought to tell the Pioneers and the Prexies that this is not football in the Great White North. I mean, does Canadian football have 12 players, Coach? We might have to Google that.
Yeah, I'm going to have to Google that.
'Cause I'm ripping on Canadian
I'm not
football,
a
and
good
I could be wrong.
authority.
I could be wrong.
Have yet to catch an Ottawa Red Blacks game this year.
Hockey is one of those sports I've always tried to get into, and it's really cool to watch live, but watching on TV is sometimes really hard to do.
Oh, I love it. Direct snap.
And that direct snap was pretty successful as number 22 for the Pioneers. Prox Meyer squirts ahead for about a 10-yard gain.
They've had a lot of success with that direct snap. I think 2 or 3 times they've run it for pretty decent gain.
Yeah. Well, and you know, the Prexies' defensive line is getting pretty good penetration, but in the process of getting good penetration and getting good push, they're not getting off blocks. If you're watching the line, the Prexies are certainly pushing back the offensive line, and they're right there as the running back runs by them, but they're really not getting off the blocks that they need to get to maybe get tackles for loss or to stonewall them at the line. 3rd and 2. Little rat play there. Proxmeyer scoots ahead. Mitchell Myers on the tackle. Feels a little bit like right now like Alder just kind of has us on our heels a little bit.
I think that just, echoes your last statement of, the D-line getting a push.
Yeah.
But not being able to wrap, So.
Absolutely. As Quave Booker comes blazing up as the running back jumps a pile and Book meets him in midair for a picture book tackle there. So 2nd and 9 as Justin Bentley checks out and the Motor McKinney checks in.
Motorin.
Looks like McKinney is going to check in, I believe, at nose guard.
Play action.
Great defense by the Prexies there as they attempt to run a bootleg play. Must have saw the Prexies run it so well last week and say, hey we're going to do that.
Yeah.
But I'll say this, though. The bootleg play is arguably probably one of the most successful plays in all of football. You make everyone think you're going one way, you roll out the other way, and then you got a couple wide receivers. You got one sitting in the flats, you got one sitting second level, and you got a third guy sitting on the third level. So, it's a very successful play. I used to run the heck out of it, Coach.
Love the bootlegs more than John Madden himself.
Absolutely. And beat to the inside, Dejon Smith with a touchdown by, looks like number, I don't know who caught that for the
I think it was 37.
Pioneers.
Detweiler.
Well, and we got some pretty good pressure on that. But right now, Alder is having success passing the ball. And and I'll say this. That looked like it was a slant. So that's a really, really hard thing to defend. A slant really is, because the whole idea of the slant is for the wide receiver to get inside position. And that's hard to defend. It really, really is.
You remember in 2006 when the Miami Dolphins went 1-15, the one game they happened to win was on a slant in overtime that went 85 yards, and so
yeah.
Every level of football you're seeing.
Well, and with a lot of the rule changes in football too, it's hard to defend a slant sometimes because in the NFL, once they reach a certain point, you can't put your hands on the wide receivers. So little by little, those rules and those techniques also find themselves trickling down to the college level and the high school level. All right, the last time Alder scored, the Prexies responded. And you know, the most important play in football, Coach, is the next play.
Truer words have never been spoken.
Six minutes and 9 seconds left. Prexies scoring here is pretty important, Coach. Making a statement because Alder will get the ball at half. Still plenty of time left in the second quarter, but nonetheless, a long, grinding drive here by the Prexies could go a long way.
It may just be what the doctor ordered. Uh-oh.
And that, folks, right there is why you kick the ball low on a kickoff, because, one, you impede the chance for a return, rather a good return, and sometimes the bounce.
The up back doesn't,
Yeah.
Oh, got the ball.
Yeah. Yeah. And if you know anything about football, boy howdy, those things can take some very squirrely bounces.
Nonetheless, Harding takes over at their own 25-yard line.
Prexy still in that double tight set with Mowry and Detweiler in the backfield as the Prexies wait for the play clock to start and play to be whistled. Ref blows the play live.
Nice zip on that pass to Adkins.
That was a great zip. Ryan, the flying Hawaiian Atkins, with a catch.
The diet.
Yes.
I'm sticking with the diet.
You're sticking with the diet. Ryan Atkins. Tell you what, that young man's come a long way.
No doubt.
Proud of that kid. All right, Prexies come out on first down with an answer. Booker, the lone back in the backfield.
Sheds a tackle.
And I'm going to tell you,
Sheds another tackle.
that should have been a tackle for loss, and Booker gets something out of nothing on that.
That's in holding or face mask territory.
Yeah,
I can't decide.
I'm wondering what it's based upon the way he went down. I'm guessing.
Get marked back.
Well, wait a minute. So that's only a 5-yard penalty. What do we have here?
Oh, an offensive face mask. All right, then.
You don't see that much, Coach.
Did you get that maybe on the stiff arm?
Yeah, and honestly, I mean, whatever. It's a
By the letter
penalty.
of the law,
I'll
it's a
take it.
penalty,
You
yeah.
got to call it both ways.
Sure.
But
Now it's a 15-yard?
so now it's a.
Okay.
Okay.
You know, I guess that's fair. I'd never heard of a 5-yard face.
There used to be a 5-yard face mask penalty, but once
then
again, the
everything,
NFL messed everything up. The NFL is ruining football, Coach Keplinger, for everybody, everywhere, all day, every day. It's a multi-million-dollar business that only cares about scoring touchdowns and getting people to play fantasy football.
Hey,
It's ruining the purity of the sport. And there's a flag backside. I'm guessing the Prexies may not have gotten set. It's kind of looking like that, Coach. I don't know what that laundry on the backside is. Illegal motion. So now it is first and Waldo?
Yeah, we're at Waldo now.
We're at a first and Waldo.
Yeah, we're at Waldo.
All right, so first and 30 as the Prexies find themselves skating backwards with a series that started at the 36, 37-yard line. Andrew
Nice
Brazil
catch.
with the catch. Noah Thompson put some air on it. That was a great catch. That was a great throw.
Yeah, nice wheel route there, huh? That was wide open.
That was nice. Andrew Bobo Brazil with a fantastic catch. Okay, so first and Waldo.
Well, we got there. We got our bologna sandwich.
I think we made it to Attica, actually.
Okay.
No, wait, Attica's the other
That's
side.
the other direction.
Yeah. Maybe Lewis Center with that throw? Delaware?
You're at least on Sandusky Street.
Well, and
somewhere.
I'm thinking Attica because we're actually going north towards Bucyrus. So maybe it should have been first in Bucyrus, Coach. I don't know. Quave Booker.
Ground caused it.
No, the ground caused it. The ground caused it.
it.
The ref just said the ground caused it. The ground caused it. The ground caused it. As Quave Booker has feet as sweet as James Brown. You see him down there moving, Coach? Holy smokes. That could have been a loss, and he gained 6.
Yep, 6 yards from it. And again, take that on first down.
I'll take that on first down. Now, the important thing here is to have a nice, clean second down play. Looks like Noah Thompson got hit a little bit there after the play. Almost maybe could have been a roughing the passer. But then again, if I complain about the rules that the NFL creates, I can't complain when maybe something that in the NFL would surely be roughing the quarterback is not called.
We just got like really sensitized to any contact on a quarterback at all.
Yeah.
Can't hit him high, can't hit him low, can't hit him early, can't
Can't
hit him
even
late.
look at him.
Don't.
Can't even look at him. All right.
Crucial third down play here.
Very crucial third down play.
Oh.
Boy, that kid runs
and
hard.
Then some.
Boy, that kid runs hard. Night Train Booker. Night Train Booker. Coach, it seems like right now all the President's men are riding the night train. First and 10. Ball on the 21. The Prexies just outside of the red zone, Coach, with Devin Mowry in the backfield. Little counter play there as Devin Mowry
Makes two guys miss in the backfield.
bounces it out. And I'm going to tell you,
He made a little something out of nothing there.
he made absolutely, positively, no questions asked, unequivocally something out of nothing on that one. He took what was a loss and turned it into a 4-yard gain. Well, that's what you want your playmakers to do, Coach. You want them to make plays.
Make plays? Yeah.
You want them to make plays. The Tiger in the backfield at fullback with Devin Mowry behind him. Adkins and Brazil, a little movement there. TJ Pickens scoots ahead for maybe a 2-yard gain, maybe? 1-yard gain? Well, and it looks like TJ just never really got going on that one. It almost looks like he kind of maybe tripped a little bit. I mean, it was a 2-yard gain, so it's a positive gain, but TJ looked like as soon as he got the ball, he almost just kind of went down there a little bit.
3rd and 4 here.
Prexies with bunch trips. Booker in the backfield with nothing doing on that play. Prexies pick up nothing on that play. 4th and 4 as the clock continues to tick down. Actually, according to the scoreboard, I think they lost a yard. The clock is stopped. Well, the clock was stopped. Whoever's running the scoreboard for the Prexies just gave him a gift on that one. Well, I don't know if it's really a gift, but the clock certainly should have been running.
Little free timeout. Never hurt anybody.
Never hurt anyone. I believe Coach is going to let it run down and call a timeout as the Prexies look to stay alive with their drive on 4 downs. All right, with that, we're going to take a Marion Harding High School Telecom production. Timeout.
A lot more fun. I know that balance feels best, so I remember to take care of myself. Miss C taught me lots of things, but the best one ever is that I can be great.
What if every child had the same opportunity? The opportunity to develop the essential life skills and characteristics students need to thrive in the 21st century. The Leader in Me process provides the teacher experience and classroom implementation tools to put your school on the path to greatness. As you integrate timeless principles into your school's core curriculum and language, you will build student self-confidence, reduce discipline referrals, and increase academic achievement. Find out more at theleaderinme.org.
Great happens here.
All right, folks, after that commercial from the wonderful Main Squeeze that you will find in the Masons building downtown, the Prexies are back with a 4th and 4 to keep their drive alive.
Roll out. Scott Brazel. He's got a first down.
Got a first down to Andrew Bobo Brazil. The Prexies keep it alive, Coach. And I'm telling you, they're living dangerously on 4th down, Coach.
Hey, it's working. Gone to that bootleg and that pass in the flats, I believe, both times there. So
I'm going to do a terrible Austin Powers, but I also, too, like to live dangerously. That was terrible, but whatever. I had to do it.
Hit me. Sir, you're on 7.
There's no flag to be thrown. There's no flag to be thrown. Noah Thompson. Wait, is there a flag to be thrown? He waves it off. He waves it off. Well, and now it's not Noah, that's Andrew. In the ref's defense, when you see somebody
start to book
running off the field like their pants are on fire, he's like, oh, my God, there's 12. So kudos to him for saying, oh, my bad.
It does zero harm to wipe it off, you know?
Yep.
Keep.
The Night Train Booker as the Prexies move the score to 13-14 with the all-important PAT by Andrew, the Quiet Storm, Newman. All right. The snap. And the kick is up. And it's true.
That's good.
Andrew Newsom. All right. So here's what we've got to remember, though, Coach. There are 78 ticks on this clock. The Pioneers get the ball at halftime, and the Pioneers have scored twice on long passes through the air. So the Prexies, really, if you think about it, running the ball in the trenches, the Prexies have controlled this game. Prexies have kind of done what they wanted to do on the ground, only at times being their own worst enemy, whereas the Pioneers have benefited from some long balls. But nonetheless, regardless of who's doing what, it's 14-14.
How it happens, you got a game.
It's a knotted ball game, Coach. We got ourselves a ball game. Absolutely. So 78 ticks left, still plenty of time with 2 timeouts apiece. Actually, check that. The Pioneers have 1 timeout for them to possibly do something here, possibly go to the air. Or maybe play it safe, because Woody Hayes said.
You got to think they're going to go.
I got to think too. But Woody Hayes said there's only 3 things that happen when you throw the ball, and 2 of them are bad. So just ask my Xbox, they'll tell you. Sam Mitchell with the kickoff. And once again, the Pioneers get a pretty decent return and end up with solid field position with 70 ticks left on the clock.
So schematically, Coach Schneider, what can you do when you're getting beat on the inside? On these slant routes, right? On these inside routes.
You know what you got to do? You have got to shiver the wide receiver off of his route. You've just got to. And just like that. What happened there was the Pioneers ran a little crisscross route, and we got confused, and it allowed the wide receiver to get behind the coverage. But to answer your question, you gotta press them off their routes. I mean, I'm not saying you don't give them cushion, but the moment they break their routes, you get in their chest. You take your hands, you shiver them in their chest, and you disrupt their route, which doesn't allow them to get inside position. So once again, the Pioneers are having their way through the air versus the Prexies.
So I guess the question becomes, what chances does Marion Harding take here with 58 seconds on the clock?
Well, you ran the ball. It got you this far. But the one thing you don't want to do is make any mistakes. Coach Slater down there having a coronary, as I would expect him to have, as on the first play, the DBs have a little hiccup there, which results in 7 for the Pioneers. As the crowd is stunned into a little bit of silence here.
Yeah, it's been an up and down game for this crowd, you know.
It most certainly has.
Punched early in the half, get punched late in the half, and it's loud when it needs to be, but it's
well, and the thing
is
this.
Takes the wind out of your sails.
As I have said, the Pioneers are not imposing their will on us. They're not. We just got to fix mistakes. I watched that happen. I watched their wide receivers bump into each other, which just froze our DBs enough, which allowed that little crossing route of theirs, that little scissor route or whatever you want to call it,
right,
to get back behind our DBs. Prexy start out with the ball on the 35-yard line with 2 timeouts and 54 ticks left in the ball game. And as we just saw, anything can happen with any amount of time on the clock, considering the Pioneers just went 59 some yards. Andrew Bazile with the catch at the 50-yard line. Stops the clock as the chains get set. Prexy's in hurry-up mode.
Call that the 58-second offense.
Good open field tackle there. Prexy's call a timeout with 34 seconds left.
It's a lot of time to run off for a 3-yard gain there, though.
That is a lot of time to run off for a 3-yard gain. Well, and you know, in a situation like that, you catch the ball and you try to make a play. conventional wisdom would tell you that you want to try to cut it outside where there are less players and you do have the sidelines. But then again, in a situation like that, you know, you're out there, you got the ball, you maybe see something, you cut it inside, and things just close up real fast.
Sure.
You know, and it's easy to say, well, you should have done this and you should have done that. But until
Well,
you're really out there with the ball in your hands.
I'm not saying
Yeah.
one thing over another.
Yeah, and nor am I.
One of them is Amazon Smile.
Nor am I.
Log in into Amazon, type in Amazon Smile. Choose Marion Harding Athletic Booster Club, and the percent of your order will be donated.
All right, the Prexies have one timeout left, down 14-21 versus the Pioneers from Alder, who have found an immense amount of success tonight with the ball in the air.
Yeah, you know, I don't know if I misread my history books, but I don't think the Pioneers did it by air.
No, I think you're 100% right. Another long pass there. Would have been nice to see Moni go out of bounds there to stop the clock. But no complaints, because that, in fact, was about a roughly close to 20-yard gain anyways, as the clock runs.
Play action. Got Monet again. A little too much.
A little too much mustard on it. As 6 seconds tick off the clock. You know, and here's the thing, once again, it's not what the Prexies have done, it's what they haven't done. You know, offensively, a couple missteps here and there, but you can't really be upset with offensively what they've done. Defensively as well, I'm sure if you look at the stat sheet, yards on the ground is probably not that much, but in the air is right now what's killing us. Pioneers call a timeout. As the Pioneers take a timeout, we'll take a quick commercial break with Marion Harding High School Telecom production. All right, folks, and we are back with the Marion Harding High School Telecom production. 19 ticks left in the second quarter. The Prexies down 14-21, driving with one timeout left. Woo. Noah Thompson squirts ahead, takes 7 ticks off the clock for, I believe, that was a smattering of running for a 6-yard gain, maybe 5-yard gain, I want to say. 5-yard? 3rd and 5, 12 ticks left for the Prexies. One timeout left, down 14-21. Noah Thompson in the backfield with Devin Mowry. Doubles. 2 wide receivers on each side of the formation. Noah Thompson steps, drops, scrambles, and rather than make a mistake, Noah Thompson just throws the ball into the turf. So 4th and 5 here, but you got to believe even with one timeout left, the Prexies are going for broke on this one.
Oh, yeah. 5 seconds left, 4th down. I think one of those that you go for 6 here or you chalk it up as.
Well, the Prexies call their final timeout of the half to draw a play up in the dirt, I would guess. Well, and Coach, if you would have told me early in this game that the Prexies defense, which I believe played so well this week, would have possibly been an Achilles heel early in this game, I would have told you that I would be surprised by that.
I would tend to agree with you there, especially through the air.
Especially through the air,
was a 3 or 4 interception game last week.
Absolutely. Our DBs played their tails off last week. They played their tails off. So, but like we talked about, Coach, we've said this many, many times up here in this booth. The best coaching in a football game takes place at halftime. And I got to believe that, Coach Slater and his defensive staff, along with Coach Lawrence, are going to have some answers on the chalkboard. And with that, it is now halftime with the Prexies down 14-21 versus the Pioneers of Jonathan Alder. After watching the band, the great award-winning Marion Harding High School band will be back with the second half in the Marion Harding High School Telecom production. And, folks, we are back with the second half of football where we're hoping that the Prexies can iron out their mistakes that we saw in the first half and come away with a W here. Coach, we were talking a little bit about halftime stats, and I'm not really sure what the Prexies did offensively as far as statistics, but you had a pretty interesting statistic, Coach, and it was what?
Yeah, so JA's sophomore quarterback, J.T. Keith, he goes 6 for 8 passing in the first half for 196 yards and 3 touchdowns.
So here's the reality. Is this youngster 6 for 8 for 198 yards good, or do we just have to clean up some errors? I would say we'll probably have to clean up some errors, but I will say this. That young man does throw a nice ball. All right, here we go. The Prexies with the kickoff by Sam Mitchell.
Oh, that stays in.
That was a great hit to start the second half by Ayers Jordan.
Yeah, it sure looked like the return man there was ready to take that kickoff out of bounds and the ball at the 40-yard line, but took a nice bounce.
Well, like we said, football can take a strange bounce sometimes.
That is true.
All right, the Prexies on defense. The Pioneers come out with twins up top. As the Pioneers find about 5 yards to 6 yards on first down. Quave Booker on the tackle there. Pioneers come out in a similar formation to what we saw last play, as the quarterback relays the play to all of the offensive players who are wearing wristbands. Prexy with good penetration, stonewalling the running back and allowing only a yard, maybe 2. It is now 3rd and 3. Important stop here for the Prexies.
Yeah, no doubt it'd be nice to come out and start the second half with a defensive stop.
Absolutely, with a turnover on downs. You got to believe that the Pioneers are going to run the ball here. Of course, I could be wrong. I've been wrong before. Maybe a little swing pass.
There we go.
And with a sack is none other than Lane Stevens. Coach, we got to have a nickname for Lane. I keep thinking that Lane rhymes with Payne.
Payne Stevens?
Payne Stevens?
Payne Stevens.
Payne Stevens.
Laying the boom.
Taking him to Boomtown. It's like that great line from Rocky 3 when they asked Clubber Lang if he has any predictions for tonight's fight. And he goes, yeah, Payne. I know it's probably a terrible Mr. T, but high punts. As the coaches are yelling, get away. And you know, there are times you're standing close to that ball and you think it's going to bounce one way, you think it's going to bounce the other, but it's a football. And like we said, that thing can take some pretty crazy bounces.
Harding starts that half with their stop.
They do.
See if,
they start with the
stop.
Start with the stop.
I didn't even mean to be funny there. Let's see if we can reestablish that run game in the second
Absolutely.
half.
I mean, we had our way. We just made some mistakes the first half. Devin Mowry.
Ooh.
You know, I don't really like that tackle there. I think a ref's got to call something there, because the kid gets tackled, and then the older player grabs his jersey after he's already on the ground and pulls him backwards. Those are the type of plays that if you allow to happen as a ref, if you don't get control of it, the game can get really chippy really fast. Little off-tackle play there. Little G play, I believe, as Quave Booker scoots ahead for, I believe, a 3-yard gain of sorts. 3rd and 3 for the Prexies as they continue to keep the ball on the ground.
Is this 4-down territory for you?
Coach, I got to think it might be 4-down territory. Well, not if you get a loss here, as nobody is able to take down Booker. As getting up from the pile is number 71, Seth Giles. As Coach Slater decides to punt here. And you know, Coach, if you get some yards on that, this is 4-down territory, but we lost 2 on that rather than gained anything. Oakland Elementary Parsons back for the punt. Good snap. Good protection. Great punt. And I'm okay with that, because when that ball hits the ground again, you just don't know which way it's going to go, as the Prexies play field position and punt the ball. Jonathan Alder with the first down. Had a chance to talk to our new superintendent at halftime. Once again, he is kind of roaming the sidelines as an old football coach. That was like a fake-esque quarterback run swing pass. That was a pretty good play call by those guys.
Yeah, nice open field tackle there, too. That could have gone.
Yeah, that was a
Gone
game
the
saver.
distance.
I mean, that was a TD saver. No doubt about it, as Alder is able to gain roughly 20 yards on their first play from scrimmage in this series. Little stretch play there as the Prexies are having none of it. And stuff Proxmire. Noah Thompson on the tackle, along with a other host of Prexies. 2nd down and 12. You got to think that we're going to see maybe a little bit of airmail here from the Pioneers.
Go empty.
Well, and you know, that was almost like a screen of sorts, I would think, Coach.
They couldn't tell where he lined up in the formation, if that was a tight end or wide receiver, but yeah, kind of open just to the left of the formation there in screen territory, if you will.
Yeah. As the Pioneers pick up 8, or rather check that, pick up 4 with a 3rd and 8. Prexi's D-line got some pretty good pressure on that one. 3rd and 8 for the Pioneers. Well, and right now it just looks like the Prexi's defensive backfield are given a little bit too much cushion.
First down, Alder. Gain of 7 on the play.
Gain of 8 on the play for the first down. Six minutes and 30-some odd seconds left in the third quarter. And it looks like Proxmire was going to be stopped there for a loss, but he's able to squirt ahead for about an 8 to 9 yard gain. Coming up to make the tackle, DeAndre Ayers.
Gain of 9, 2nd down and 1.
2nd down and 1. DeAndre Ayers with an open field tackle. And, Coach, when you've got your defensive backs making tackles on run plays,
you don't want that.
You don't want that. DeAndre Ayers is your free safety. Yes, you want him to run the. Yes, you want him to run the alley, and yes, you want him to make tackles, but he can't be the first person to make contact on a run play. Well, and right now, the Prexies really just they don't have an answer for this run game, as Alder is just kind of finding their way on the ground. Checking out of the game is Elijah Collier, and checking into the game is Mitchell Gruber. Ball! All right. The ball popped out there a little bit, but there was a pretty good loss of yardage on that one, as I believe that was number 21, Lane Stevens, on the sack. Lane taking him to Payne Town. Payne Stevens. Payne provides a spark.
what seems like an obvious passing down.
This is an obvious passing down, but with the success they've had in the air, and you got to think, I don't know if this is 4 down. It just depends on what they do here on third, whether it's 4 down territory or not. As he has all day to throw. Oh.
Tell you what, I think Ayers had a nice read on that. That's not a bad play from their wide receiver there, number 34.
No, it's really not.
To get up and bat that away.
It's really not. Well, and, here's the thing. When it's 3rd and 18 like that, and you're a defensive lineman, you know it's going to be passed, you just got to pin your ears back. Young man, we've been getting some pretty good pressure here in the second half, but in a situation like that, you just got to pin your ears back and go and make it harder for him to throw that pass. Noah Thompson with, I believe that was Noah with a fair catch. Good call by that man. As both offenses have traded punts. No one's really done much offensively in this half as far as Prexies have had a couple drives and a couple plays. Alder's had a couple drives and a couple plays, but no one has yet to draw blood. What's that, Coach?
Good defensive adjustments all around. You're talking about a 35-point first half, and you might end up scoreless in this quarter.
It's very possible. Let's hope not, though, Coach.
Of course not.
Let's hope the Prexies.
I'm not hoping it.
I'm with you. Oh! As Noah Thompson throws the ball just a little too high, and a first down play nets negative yardage.
Noah Thompson pass intended for Devon Maury. Also the Lambert, 2nd and 21 for the Presidents.
2nd and 21 for the Presidents. Prexy's looking for a spark on offense. Noah's pass falls to the dirt. 3rd and 21 for the Presidents.
A little bit fortunate there. Number 10 from J.A. got into that backfield untouched. Had he read that bootleg, that would have been some trouble.
Yes, sir, it would have been. Gabe Detweiler checks out of the ball game.
Got to imagine it's a run here. Get out of the end zone to punt.
You got to see what you can get here and just get something. Get your rear end out of the end zone. Okay.
Shows what I know.
Shows what we know.
I don't mind being wrong, though.
Coach, I'll take that all day, every day, as the children say these days. Do they say every day? Do kids say that? They don't say every day anymore?
Day?
Every day? Well, I'm going to say it every day.
So first down for the Presidents here. They take over at their 28-yard line.
Quave Booker, I believe, for a
1 or 2 yard gain.
3 yards.
All right.
Coach, who caught that ball, by the way? We're so excited over the catch. We didn't even say who caught it.
I thought that was Monet, wasn't it?
Was that Monet?
Yeah.
Okay. Gary, quite contrary.
With a rebel yell. He cries, Mo, Mo, Mo.
Monet. Got a lot of Billy Idol references up here.
Well, Good block there.
That was a great open field tackle by number 40.
Good job by Ethan Ashman, too, to get out there and
absolutely.
Get that second,
second
block.
That is the good old-fashioned Marion Harding High School G play.
No, we just love G, don't we?
We love G. You have a wide receiver who's in motion. He basically cracks down on the end. Everybody blocks down. The guard pulls and kicks out. And that's what you get. Just opens up a great hole right there for Mr. Booker to run through.
Flag on the play.
Well, and unfortunately, that play that was about a 6-yard gain is now going to be, instead of being 2nd and 4, is now going to be 1st and 15 because you got a couple people in motion. And you can't do that.
Sounds like another one of those Canadian football rules. Can't you have like multiple people in motion in Canada?
Yeah. I mean, thank God they gave us hockey and Canadian bacon because their football just confuses me, Coach.
Your bacon is a ham.
Their bacon is ham. It's bothered me my whole life.
First down and 15
Their bacon is ham.
35 for Marion Harding.
But we love our neighbors up north. All right, so 1st and 15 for the Presidents on a multiple motion play there that netted us a negative 5 yards. Low snap. Andrew Bazile with about a 7-yard, 8-yard gain maybe, which gets us to 2nd and 7, which is a very, actually about 2nd and 6. That's a doable down.
No doubt. That's about the same result that would have netted from that first down play. So,
Coach, I'll take it. I'll take it. As the play just falls apart there, and Noah Thompson gets pressure from the backside and goes down via sack before anything is allowed to happen on that play.
Yeah, that outside linebacker was the same one who just missed that safety on that 3rd down play, so I'm sure he wasn't going to get fooled again.
3rd and 11. Check that. Our scoreboard operator says 3rd and 14, but I don't know. It's 3rd and 11. As Noah Thompson just underthrows it to Andrew Bazile as the punt team goes out on the field. The offense hustles off.
Hey, Coach Schneider, trivia question.
Trivia time.
Yep, so we've got the Ohio State Buckeyes playing their first game of the season.
Okay.
Tomorrow afternoon, I believe that's a noon kickoff. Who was the last Ohio team to beat the Buckeyes? That is your trivia question.
Last Ohio team to beat the Buckeyes, as we see a fair catch from the Pioneers with the ball at the 39-yard line with 61 yards between them and pay dirt. So, I got to think about this, Coach. In my lifetime, I've never seen them lose to a MAC team, a MAC Ohio team. So we've got the MAC teams. We've got Cincinnati. Could it have been years ago when there were no divisions in college football?
Oh, it was years ago.
It was years ago.
You were not there. Jay Gatsby might have been.
Jay Gatsby might have been. So it was a time in America where it roared, possibly the 20s. So I got to guess you got teams like Wittenberg, you got teams like Defiance. Oh, as we have an older player down, folks. While he is down, we're going to take a quick commercial break with the Marion Harding High School Telecom production.
Alder has a man down.
All right, and thankfully, the Jonathan Alder player got up on his own reconnaissance, number 78, and was able to walk off the field. So good to see that at this point in the game, everybody is still happy and healthy because, once again, these are still youngsters out there, folks. Little direct snap to the QB. Never mind.
Yeah, that's Proxmire still.
Proxmire.
And for the first time tonight, Harding's really able to sniff out that direct snap without it doing any damage.
Yep. So, Coach, into the third quarter, that was Saul, the Prexies, and the Pioneers trade punts. We'll take a quick commercial break with Marion Harding High School Telecom production. And we are back with the start of the fourth quarter with the Alder Pioneers staring at a 3rd and 1 with the ball on the 48-yard line. I almost said 52-yard line, Coach. Some ex-football coach I am.
You can't do that.
You cannot. Wow. Wow. Dr. Booker bringing the train to the town with the pain. That was nice. Not my rhyme, but that play. That was a great dialed-up blitz by that young man, as his teammates are there to clean it up.
Might have just forced a punt, too.
Yeah, absolutely. And the excitement of that big play is, I think Alder's going to go for it. Or not. Maybe they're going to do the old, are you going to jump off sides thing.
Yeah, it's right in range.
The hard count.
Still.
Nope, they're going to safe punt it, Coach. No, they're not. They're going to normal punt it. Just make sure you don't jump off sides here, gentlemen. Noah Thompson with the fair catch.
About the 30-yard line.
Yeah. So not fantastic field position, but not terrible. I've seen better.
So how about that trivia question, Coach Schneider? What you got?
Okay, so I know they played Worcester. I know they played I don't know if Defiance College has had a football team for that long. I know they played Wesleyan, Denison, Oberlin. I'm going to take a shot in the dark and say Denison.
Not Denison. It was Oberlin. It was
Oberlin College.
1921 game. It was a 7-6 win for Oberlin. Ohio State came off a conference and Rose Bowl winning season to lose to Oberlin College 7-6 at the Horseshoe.
And that was what year?
1921.
And who was president?
I don't know. Who was president?
Warren Gamil Harding.
See, I always get bamboozled on these things because, well, I'm a social studies teacher. I have yet to teach an American history class in my lifetime. And it gets real hazy there between, like, the 1880s and, like, the 1920s.
Fair enough.
And who the president was.
Fair enough. For the 9 years I was in the classroom, I taught American history for exactly 2 of them. And it's one of those things, if you're not, yes, we know American history, but if you're not always refreshing your mind, sometimes you're not as quick with facts as you could be otherwise. All right, 3rd and 8 for the Prexies. Oh!
Good effort there.
That was a great effort by Gary. But, right now, the Prexies aren't finding much luck running the ball. At least not on that series of downs, they did not. As once again, the Pioneers and the Prexies continue to trade punts, whereas Oakland Elementary Parsons is back once again for a punt.
I do miss that school sometimes.
As do I, Coach.
That's going to take a friendly Harding bounce.
Very friendly Prexy bounce.
Jacob Hoffman on down the ball for Marion Harding. Jonathan Alder takes over 1st and 10.
Okay, the Pioneers 1st and 10, and what has been a chess match of a second half. Nine minutes and 37 seconds left in the ball game. I suppose defenses have stiffened up, Coach.
Yeah, they've really made the second half fly by, haven't they?
They have. They have. If you like defense, this is the half of football for you. However,
we have a half for you.
The Prexies still find themselves down by 7. No catch on that. No catch on that. As Noah Thompson is there on the defense, along with, I believe that would be Gary Money as well over there.
Yep, that pass looked a little behind him there, and as soon as Noah hit him, that ball jarred loose before
absolutely.
he could make the football play, if you will.
Yeah, I mean, the wide receivers certainly could have caught that ball, but Noah's hit separated him from the ball and basically said, no soup for you.
A 3rd and 12 for Jonathan Alder.
3rd and 12 as they come out in trips. Got to believe this is certainly a passing down. Guys up front got to pin back their ears. Too high, too high, too high. The pass is too high. So, Prexi's defense goes 4 and out. So, with this punt, if the Prexies are able to get some type of return, or this is not a strong punt, the Prexies can find themselves in good field position, down by 7. Coach.
I tell you what, it sure looked like the punter got the very end of that football. So.
No. That's a terrible spot. The ball went out of bounds. Okay, he walks it up. Coaches about lost their mind because the ball, it looked like the ref over here was saying that the ball went out of bounds down here. So we got great field position, Coach.
You'll take that great field position.
I'll take it all day, every day.
As the kids once said.
I used to be with it, Coach.
And then they changed what it is.
And now what's it?
I'm not with it anymore.
And it's strange and scary. But that happens as you get older, folks. High backfield for the Prexies. Noah Thompson, it looks like some type of a busted play there. But it looked like Noah was going to actually toss it, and it didn't happen. So he made something out of nothing with almost a 7-yard gain, I believe. So heads-up play by Cornbread, the Red Menace, Thompson. Prexi's got the edge there.
That's a first down. Ayers Jordan.
Ayers Jordan.
Jump man, jump man, jump man.
Looks like there is currently a Prexy on the ground. We're going to go ahead and take a quick commercial break with a Marion Harding High School Telecom production. All right, folks, we're back where, thankfully, DeAndre Ayers is walking off the field on his own power. Should be noted that while watching this at home or on your computer in air conditioning, it is, in fact, a hot night. One in which I almost choked to death at halftime, Coach.
Yeah, I was ready to save your life.
Yeah. I was eating some wings, and I laughed. And I inhaled a wing into the old windpipe. They were boneless, but nonetheless. So something happened here where the referee kind of blew something dead because of, looks like Ayers has Gary? Something wrong with his pants? I don't know what's going on there. Okay, so.
Was that official's timeout before
it was
the snap?
official's timeout.
Okay.
I watched it because the official pointed at his pants. And
just took a snap when the play
he
was
allowed
still
the
dead.
snap, but my gentleman over here, the referee over here, blew the whistle. That would have been some stuff, though, if Brazil would have caught that ball.
Yeah, no doubt.
Our stands might have lost their minds. But he did not, and here we are. Another day, another play. Oh, no. Whoa. Excuse my exclamation there in saying, oh, no. But,
yeah, that pass hit that defensive back right in the face mask. So.
Boy, howdy. You can't dial that up any more than that for an interception. But the football gods smiled on us on that one. Gabe Detweiler checks into the game. Runs into the huddle where Mr. Booker tells him to play. An I backfield for the Prexies. Quave Booker bounces the ball out. Cuts it up. Looks like it is third and roughly 5.
Yeah, I'm tending to disagree with that spot there
That
too.
is a
Just
terrible
as our coaching box is. So it sure looked like he had forward progress and kind of got dragged back a yard or two, and somewhere in between those two,
yeah,
is where the ball happens to be.
Booker falls ahead for, I believe, about a 3-yard gain. You got to believe the Prexies are in 4-down territory here. Be interesting to see if the Prexies go I-backs here. As Andrew Brazil checks into the ball game and Devin Mowry checks out. Gabe Detweiler checks in as well. So, yes, the Prexies are going to go with an I backfield here. You got to believe that the Prexies are going to run here, and the Pioneers are going to pin their ears back. So that play just fell apart from the beginning as the Prexy's looks like we dialed up some type of a play-action pass there, but the Pioneers pinned their ears back and thwarted that before anything could happen. So once again, a defensive struggle here as the Prexy's defense comes back out onto the field.
What is that, 3 straight drives with a negative play on first down there for
Yeah,
JA?
absolutely. Absolutely. Well, in the angle we're at, I'm going to say, yeah, I'm that looked about like a 4 or 5 yard loss there. Six minutes and 30 some odd seconds left in what has been a seesaw of a game.
Each pass, who is it? Gary Money on the stop for the Prexys.
Alder completes a pass for about 10 yards for a 3rd and 3.
3rd and 3 from the midfield.
Third and 3. Prexy's with what could be an all-important stop.
Quick out. Good
Well,
enough
and
for a
at this
first down.
point, the Prexy's defensive backs are just giving a little bit too much of a cushion.
First down, Jonathan Alder.
As Coach Lawrence down there gives the defensive play. Six minutes and 17 seconds left.
Have the run stuffed on first down, 3 straight drives. Is this you start passing the ball more here if you're JA? I know it seems counterintuitive with the clock running, 6 minutes left and up a touchdown, but
That's a good question, Coach.
the answer? No.
The answer is no. And Proxmire continues to have success on the ground.
Gain of 7, second down and 7. And 3, excuse me.
2nd and 3 for the Pioneers.
That third quarter went so quick, I forgot to say hi to Grandma. So hi, Grandma.
Hi, Grandma. Prexy's with a good blitz there.
It's about a 3rd and 3.
Maybe 4.
4, long 3.
Long 3, short 4.
No gain on the play, 3rd and 3.
Well, you got to believe, too, that the Pioneers are probably in 4-down territory here, Coach. Of course, I don't know if the Prexy's get a stop here with them only up a touchdown. Maybe they punt.
Yeah, do you take the chance maybe and if you're JA, do you go out and try to trust your defense one more time, They haven't given you a reason not to this half.
All right, folks. Jonathan Alder with a timeout. We're going to take a quick commercial break with Marion Harding High School Telecom production. And folks, we are back with the Pioneers looking at a 3rd and 3, and the Prexies needing an all-important stop right now in this game to get the ball back. And he gets just enough, Coach. Just enough for a first down. As the Pioneers continue to march slowly down the field.
Sub 5 minutes, not quite field goal range. This is ideal bend don't break time, isn't it?
Absolutely, yeah, absolutely. Turnover would be nice here.
Proxmire, the ball carrier.
Proxmire ahead for what looks like about a 2-yard gain.
Noah Thompson on the stop.
Noah Thompson and Quave Booker on the stop. As the clock continues to tick down, 240 some odd seconds left in this ball game. Jonathan Alder taking their sweet time as the clock becomes their friend and the president's enemy.
A good push there again by the defensive line. They're Harding signaling they have the ball. I don't think the refs are going to hear much about it, though.
And the refs are saying different.
Going to go ahead and assume they have a much better view of that than we do.
Yeah. So 3rd and about 6 here. Prexies have 3 timeouts.
36.
There's still time left in this ball game, but a stop here needs to happen. Pioneers taking all the time that they need. Possibly going to see a timeout here. We are, Coach. With that timeout, we're going to take a very short commercial break with the Marion Harding High School Telecom production. All right, folks, and we are back with a Marion Harding High School Telecom production with the Prexies looking at 3rd and 6 with 2 minutes and 54 seconds left, down by 7 points with 2 timeouts left in this ball game. And a stop here and on the next down is of the utmost importance. It could mean the ball game, Coach.
Incomplete.
All right. No catch by that young man.
Well, all righty then.
Okay, 4th and 6, Coach. 2 minutes and 51 seconds left, 2 timeouts. A stop here means the Prexies get the ball back with a chance to tie the ball game.
Got to be a stop here, doesn't it?
Coach, it has to happen. A stop here doesn't mean that the game is over, but it doesn't mean that it, you know what I mean? It has to happen. I'm not even going to discuss otherwise. It has to happen. As the Prexies take an important timeout, want to see what Jonathan Alder's coming out in so you can call your defense over and talk to them about what they may and may
Now,
not do.
that was JA's timeout. I don't think they liked what they saw there.
Oh, well, what do I know? That was JA's timeout.
Well, first down conversion here just about puts that icing on the cake for them there. So
Yeah, it
why,
does.
why not get it right?
Yeah, no, you're right, it does. Certainly puts the cake in the oven. That's for sure. All right. For all the marbles here, Coach. Or at least a chance at getting some marbles.
Is that a wheel route? That's Keith's 4th touchdown of the night.
We see a flag here on the backside. It'll be interesting to see if this is an excessive celebration penalty.
Yeah, it is. He showed it up. He gave a little professional wrestling move there in the corner. So,
Well, Coach, and at this point, once again, it wasn't about what we did do, it's what we didn't do. And what we didn't do was stop the pass very well. So I've never understood why they penalized that on the kickoff. Quite frankly, Coach, I think there should be a penalization on the PAT. But I don't make the rules. I'm just, So 2 minutes and 43 seconds left. The Prexies find themselves once again falling victim to the long ball from Jonathan Alder. As the referees talk out there on where to spot the ball. So what a tale of 2 games, Coach.
yeah, and I think that answers some questions about that Marysville team too, doesn't it?
It does. It does. It does. Well, and here's a Prexies team that 2 games into the season, we still have 8 games to play. There's still a lot of improvement to be had, but I still feel like this team kind of has an identity crisis. We saw a team last week that only gave up 12 points and was able to pick off 5 passes. That same defensive backfield turns around this week and gives up 4 balls through the air. Our offense is also able to move the ball rather well on the ground, find a little bit of success passing, but yet continue to thwart drives with mistakes and negative plays. But I have faith in these young men, and I have faith in the coaches that these are all things that can be rectified.
Figure what looks to be good field position too here if we're going to mount something crazy. The fake reverse on the kickoff. Well then.
Well done. Well, folks, it ain't over yet. The Prexies have good field position. There's always the onside kick. There's still 2 timeouts. A quick strike here.
Hey, it all starts with a Harding touchdown here. So
It all starts with a Harding touchdown.
here we
Coach.
go, O.
There's a lot of scenarios that could see this turn out positively for the Prexies, as the home field turf win streak hangs in the balance. I believe that ball had to be tipped because it just died. in
It
midair.
lost some zip there right past the line of scrimmage.
Yeah. About 3 seconds ticks off the clock. Prexies break the huddle. Come out in twins.
Booker makes the DB miss. All right.
Mr. Everything, the night train. The night train. Prexies showing a lot of grit here.
Tell you what, score here with 2 minutes left.
Still life.
Come on now.
Andrew Brazil with the tippy toe. Bobo Brazil.
Doing his best Fred Astaire impression there.
I'm telling you.
On the play.
2 minutes and 14 seconds left. 2nd and 7 for the Prexies. 14 yards to pay dirt. Noah just puts too much on it on that one. 3rd and 7 for the Prexies with 2 minutes and 11 seconds left.
Let it be noted, don't necessarily need to score on this particular set of downs here. If you can get the 1st and 2.
No, you're 100% right, Coach. You're 100% right. First down will stop the clock until the chains are set. Clock right now is the president's enemy. Prexies are almost, and a delay of game. Check that.
Got the timeout.
They got the timeout. That 5 yards could have hurt. Prexies break the huddle. Come out in trips. Devin Mowry in the backfield with Noah Thompson. Thompson with a loss. Actually, no, I think it's a no-gainer. As the Prexies call their final timeout with 1 minute and 58 seconds left. As Coach Wessler looks down at his call sheet and decides what call to call next. Student section down there getting it done, Coach.
Yeah, they brought the megaphone game.
Olivia Moodley on the megaphone.
Kind of support stolen from European soccer culture, known as the Capos.
The Capos.
They lead the cheers.
All right, here we go. No, was not able to get enough on that. As the Prexies turn the ball over on downs, and that, folks, unless an asteroid hits the field, that's all she wrote. Well, Coach, and it's the second game of the season. There's still 8 games left to play, but like you and I have talked about many times on this broadcast, it is a young season, and there's still a lot in play. The Prexies obviously have not begun conference play yet. The conference championship is definitely something to still play for. And, Coach, there's still a lot to play for.
No doubt.
Very nary does a high school football team find itself 10-0 at the end of the season. As the Pioneers keep it on the ground.
I believe there was a scoreboard issue. Harding did have one more timeout.
And Marion Harding actually calls a timeout, so the scoreboard was wrong. Marion Harding actually had 3 timeouts. So the Prexies call a timeout, as I'm sure Coach Slater calls his boys in to tell them, say, hey, listen, I know you're upset. I know you're dejected. I know this game didn't go the way you wanted it to go. But we need to keep our heads. We need to keep our emotions in check, and we need to lose just like we win with class. And that's hard to do, Coach. It really is. You go out there and you play your heart out and you give it everything you got. When you're staring down the barrel of a loss, it's hard sometimes to keep your emotions inside. 1 minute and 43 seconds left. Look for Alder here to keep it on the ground. As they do. Clock will continue to run.
That first down will mathematically do it.
Yeah, that first down's you're right, Coach. That first down's mathematically going to do it. So, as the clock ticks away here, Coach, I know I said this a couple minutes ago, but I know the Prexies are dejected, but still a lot to play for. Actually, there's still everything to play for. One game does not make or break your season. The conference is still there. Playoffs are still there. And ultimately, every team's goal should be the state championship, and that in and of itself is still there. So every goal these gentlemen have set for themselves this year, short of an undefeated season, still exists. As both teams move to the 50-yard line. So, folks, the unbeaten streak here at home, which we put at maybe 7 games, and or 8 games, but certainly the unbeaten streak on the turf, which was at 6, has now come to an end. We will be home in 3 weeks.
3 weeks. They're giving us a little vacation there, aren't
Yeah. Versus the Spartans of Pleasant, I believe.
they? Yep, I think that's right.
I think that's right. So, as always, go Prexies, and
Good night, everybody.